And hello everyone, and welcome back to week 47 of our Minecraft Let's Play series. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Oh yeah, the last week we went ahead and kind of stopped mid-project with a few things, so this week I'm going to remedy that. And by a few projects, I mean our bulk storage. I just realized I have 3 on this twice. But yeah, our bulk storage, I'd like to finish that up. I went ahead and got wood between weeks to actually get enough to finish it, hopefully. Then, when we were doing our villager haul, I said I was running out of glow squid ink, so we're going to go ahead and make a farm for that this week. As well as, of course, we'll be working on our villager haul and finally, hopefully getting some detail done on the outside of the storage room and maybe even figuring out what I want to do with this. Because right now, it just being like a hole in the side of this doesn't look great, and I want to kind of work with the rest of this place. So obviously the first thing on our agenda is to go ahead and place all these chests that I made, plus these barrels, down into our bulk storage room. Now you may remember that I went ahead and got most of the stuff in here, but we're missing that whole wall, this area down here, and this area right here. So that's what I'm going to go do really quick. And for anyone curious, this actually took almost 1,000 logs to make, if not 1,000 logs, because these chests, I think I made 540 of them, so that's about 1,080 logs right there. And this is where I also hope that I went ahead and made enough of these chests, but we shall see. And now's the time I breathe a sigh of relief because I actually counted this correctly. Now time to add the barrels. And of course the barrels weren't that hard to calculate, but there we go. There is finally what our storage system is supposed to look like. It's kind of cramped in some areas, like there's only 2 blocks gap here and here, but we got 3 here because I couldn't count correctly. But this is a lot of storage. This might even be enough storage to hold everything we have at the mining hole. Not that I'm going to bring everything here, at least not yet. But yeah, no, this is hopefully going to last us a long while, and if it doesn't, well, hopefully it'll last us at least until the end of this year. If it doesn't last us till the end of this year, I really question how much stuff I've had in this world then. But now, with that out of the way, we can work towards the next thing on our list, which was the glow squid farm, because we kind of need the glow squid farm to work on the villager hall, and I mean, we don't need the glow squid farm to work on the outside of this area, but I think coming full circle will just be better. So we're gonna go ahead and work on the glow squid farm, which requires us to build it somewhere else in this world, so I guess time to go looking. So we need a place that's close enough to Y level 63 that does not have a bunch of water in it, like this. So that might be hard to find because I don't know if you noticed, but our world is kind of water world at the moment. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. Alright, this might work. I know there's like a decent amount of water here, but I legitimately can't figure out any other place, so we'll just have to go through here. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started right here. Let's try and mark out the spot first. I just realized how much this gonna suck because I don't have a beacon. I'm gonna hope this works because I don't want to feel like I just dug this out for nothing. What I said before, it's not a farm build unless I'm building a platform or something like that. Man, that got dark very quickly. And there we go. There's our simple glow squid farm active. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go and AFK up there, and I'll give it maybe about 5 or 10 minutes and we'll see what loot we get. So apparently the spawns at which squids actually appear has been changed since this video was made. I'm watching Shulker Craft's video, by the way, and they changed the spawns in 1.18. So this farm needs to be 36 blocks lower. I need to tear this out. And if we're going to have to go ahead and build this farm deeper and build a hole, I'm going to just build it at our base because I did some research and we don't actually have to have the hole go all the way down from the top to the bottom. So I'm just going to get started and start digging about here. Now, you may be wondering why I built this farm at our base when you could probably guess that this is not going to be staying forever. And that's literally just because of the fact that I need glow squid egg for the next thing we're going to be doing this week, and I am running out of time for things to do. So, yeah. That is the reason why I'm going to have it here. I'm going to let this run for a bit, and I will come back with the amount of glow squid ink that we get in, let's say, 15 minutes. That should be good, right? So I'll be back. Alright, now after 15 minutes, time to see the spoils. Okay, the andesite's obviously not part of it, but the glow ink sacks is a good chunk of that. That's nice. So 15 minutes got us about 75, so that's about 5 per minute or 1 every 12 seconds. And that also means that even though I did build this with like a water cave behind here, that's probably ruining some spawns, but still a stack is not bad. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to head out of here, and we are going to go ahead and start going to the villager hall to finally do the little bits of decorating that I want to do this week. So I'm going to head grab everything I need for that, and I will meet you over there. Alright, so now that we're actually here, we're not going to be spending hopefully too much time here, as we're going to be more so decorating instead of like actually building, because if you don't remember, we actually went ahead and finally finished building all 4 of these rooms. They're all completely done besides a few decoration things which I wanted to do, which one of them I guess isn't actually a decoration thing. I want to go ahead and just take this compass and hit this lodestone with it, so we always have a way of knowing what way the villager hall is. Another thing is not even in this room, it's all the way over on this side. I want to go ahead and finally finish decorating this area. Basically, I want to go ahead, put all the enchantments down on these signs that I need on here, as well as decorate all of these bookshelves. That's going to take some time, so let me get started. Now, we're actually also going to be putting a sign here for an enchantment that doesn't exist called cleaving, because I believe we're supposed to be getting an enchantment called that in a future update. So basically, I'm just kind of going ahead and setting up some things for the future too. There's some useless ones on here, by the way, like Bait of Arthropods and Knockback, in my opinion, aren't that great, so, but I left those there for completion's sake. That is the word. And there we go. You can now clearly see where each enchantment is going to be, because I went ahead and both hit all these with some glowing sacks as well as some light gray dye. However, when I was doing the math for this, I thought I was doing well into calculating every book into here, but realized that I had actually messed up. Even with adding that cleaving one up there, I still have 2 empty spaces, and I think that's because I went ahead and also accidentally added one for every book you can't trade with villagers, which is Swift Sneak, Soul Speed, and Windburst. Because if we didn't have cleaving, this would have only been... Because if we didn't have cleaving, this would have been 3 empty spaces, so that kind of fits. Oh well, room for whenever they add more enchantments, I guess. I'm not complaining. But now I'm going to go ahead and fill in these bookshelves with actual books, just to kind of finally finish up the decorating part of this library. And I think at that point, this room will actually be fully done. So give me a moment. And there we are. There is all of the chiseled bookshelves having actual books placed into them. Now, they don't have anything on them, they're just regular books. But I do think that adds a little bit more variety into the actual build. And I think it looks a lot better now that it's not just empty bookshelves. And I think it's also good that it's not just full regular bookshelves. I think it ties the room in pretty well. And now I believe that's this whole entire room done, which is actually weird to say, obviously, besides the villagers that need to be placed into here, but this looks pretty good. Alright, so now the last thing I want to go ahead and do is this map up here, which first off, we will go ahead and place all these down onto here. The only reason I wanted these to be glow item frames was because of the fact that this will be lit up no matter what, which is going to be good for these empty maps, which I'm going to go ahead and stand in the center of this building, right about here, and we'll see where this map places it. Interesting. Alright, so this actually does cover most of the trading hall, which for some reason I thought was going to be bigger. But yeah, this would be the centerpiece, probably. Then we'll go ahead and move out two to the left, two to the right, and then go one up and one down, and that will be our map. And there we go, there's our map, which I honestly thought that this would be a lot bigger. And to be fair, it probably would be if I had like increased the size, but I kind of wanted to put into perspective how tiny this thing actually is. Because it seems like a big build at first, but then you get right to it and yeah, it's not big. But hopefully as time goes along, I'll be able to actually like put some things around this, maybe change it a little bit, but for now, it's fine. I might change the map in the future, make it actually like zoomed in, but yeah, I'm alright with how it is right now. But yeah, that is everything I want to do in the villager hall. The map, the lodestone compass, the enchantments that we had written down over here, as well as the books. Not as, you know, big as going ahead and building like this area or one of these rooms, but still some important details that I feel that we need to have. So now we have one last thing to do on our list this week, and that is to go ahead and once more work on the bulk storage, but to go ahead and actually put a outer side to it and possibly even work on the roof on the top floor. So I'll meet you guys back at our base where we will spend the rest of our time working on it. And alright, this is going to be hard. Mainly because now I gotta take this design and put it into here and just kind of make it look like it's actually supposed to be here. Which, I'll be honest, I just realized I never really put much thought into that. I just kind of built it, was hoping that, you know, I would think of something beforehand, but I never did. So I've gone ahead and brought the blocks that we used to use, like way back when we built this spiral staircase and this arch and this giant tower, but I think first things first is I need to bring this out a bit, not too much, because I want to go ahead and take this path somewhere and lead it into here, so we'll see. The other issue is I'm thinking about going ahead and just fixing this entirely, so like also working on the front. Like I said, adding the path into here. And by the front, I don't mean just like the front facing area. I mean also like adding maybe a rock in the center because this is kind of bare right here. But I just realized I also didn't leave myself that much room here. And this overhang isn't that great anymore. And just there's a lot of things here that need to be worked upon. And here now we have somewhat of a start for the beginning. It's a patio, obviously, but I feel that, it's a good place to start. Gives it a little bit more character. But now I need to figure out A, how do I want to do the roof? B, how do I want to attach this to this path? C, how do I want to terraform this thing right here? Because this is a little bit of an issue. And D, if I even want to keep this like this. And also how to light it. All things I need to worry about. This is the point where I just kind of hope that the build starts to grow on me as I go along, because I'm not too fond of how it looks, but it doesn't look horrible. I went ahead and cut out this as well as this side, but as you can probably tell, it's quite flat. So we'll see if it stays. I probably won't get to terraforming it right now. That might be a future thing, because I really don't know what to do with this, because I'm going to show you guys an issue. There is the roof, and here is the slice that I need to cut. It starts here, and it gets really close to our path. And that's kind of the reason why I am avoiding it at the moment. But I'm just going to act like everything's okay, and I will instead work on this here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it from here, maybe, and move it into this. And alright, after, I'd say maybe about an hour worth of testing things, seeing how they look, I have finally gone ahead and made the changes I wanted to make to this. As you can see, this is already one of them. I've gone ahead and moved the crafting table over here, and the ender chest I finally placed over here. It doesn't look too great, but I also didn't want it to be like in the pathway due to the fact that you'd feel like the dip every time you go into it. Which, speaking of the pathway, this is no longer just stone on here, stone up here. This is now closed off. I couldn't really put the ender chest here. This is where I was immediately thinking about doing it because the chest is right there, but it's fine here, in my opinion. And if we come out to here, this is what the patio looks like now. We got a roof. That is the same blocks as the roof for the other building that you can barely see over there. Went ahead and added some lanterns for lighting, carpet just to kind of break up the monotony of just the floor. You come down here, and I think the patio, honestly, it looks quite nice. It looks very cozy. You may notice that I went ahead and started working on putting in some leaf blocks because I realized that a lot of this area, besides the grass, don't get me wrong, this was supposed to be a steampunk area, but I like to put some greenery into my builds, and I think that is something I need to start working on, is actually adding in like leaf blocks for bushes or even just trees and stuff. Starting to add more nature into this. But yeah, I went ahead and worked on the path, so the path now connects up to here. I think it works pretty fluidly. And you may have noticed that there is one thing that I did not do again, and that is the terraforming aspect of this. It does not look great because this is literally just cut off immediately, but I also don't know exactly how I want to do this. I thought about pushing this in, but if I do that, I don't want to go too far because there is still the path up there. I don't want to just cut it up here because the path still blocks it there too. And another thing that I did is that this is also completely like just cut off right here, and that's because I don't know if I want to add more buildings here, and I don't want to like terraform something if there's going to be another building, if that makes sense, because if there's just going to be a building from here and then somewhere down the line, maybe a little bit lower, maybe like here there's another building, or even an entrance to that spider spawner we found a few episodes back, I could go ahead and build something here, but I didn't want to go ahead and terraform this if this is going to be changed anyway no matter what. So that is where this build has left off. I also added the stone, obviously, you probably noticed that, but I think honestly it turned out pretty well. I'm very happy with how this looks. It does still have the same aesthetic as the rest of the place, but I think for all it's worth, it looks pretty good. But sadly, that is going to have to be it for this week. I'm sorry if the end felt a little bit rushed, but I got very busy this week as usual and needed to get the other things done, so that's why we went ahead quickly built the squid farm, we went ahead and did a little bit of detailing over at the villager hall. Then we went ahead and made this lovely porch and the outside of the storage area, as well as we went ahead and finished our bulk storage system down at the bottom by filling it up with barrels and double chest. A lot of small things, but things that add up to bigger projects that I've had going on, and all things that are necessary. But yeah, like I said, I hope you all enjoyed this week of our Minecraft Let's Play series. I hope you all have a great week. Take care, and I will see you guys hopefully in the next week. Alright, bye bye!